Thanks. Hi, everybody. My name's Karen Smith. I'm the Distribution Coordinator for Tourism NT. I'm joined by with my colleague Alice Bowden today, so thanks for joining us, Alice. Before we start, I just want to respectfully acknowledge and honour the Aboriginal people of the Northern Territory and recognise the continuation of culture, connection to land, water and country. We pay our respects to elders past, present and future. So as we go through today, if you have any questions, please just send them through the chat box. If everyone can just keep themselves on mute, that would be great. And your videos off. We're going to be recording the session today so that we can put it onto our website. So welcome. It's great to have so many agents here today. We know everyone is extremely busy, so thanks for taking your time to join us today. I'm just going to share my presentation. Can you see that okay, Alice?
Not yet, but I think I'll just stop spotlighting you and then it may come up.
Oh, yep, here we go. You should have it now.
Yep, got it.
Yep, great, thanks. So today we're going to be focusing on Uluru, and we have three of our key operators from that region joining us. So welcome to Rafaela Dressler from Voyages, Indigenous Tourism Australia, to Alex Dye from Uluru Segway Tours and Uluru Audio Guides, and to Victoria Turnbull from AAT Kings. So thanks for taking the time to join us today, guys. We'll be hearing from them very soon. I've just got a few updates before we start. So just a reminder for those of you who might be new or not that familiar with it, where the NT is, we are top and centre of Australia. We refer to two main regions. We have the top end, which includes Darwin, Kakadu, Arnhem Land, the Tiwi Islands and Katherine, and we have the red centre, which is Uluru, Alice Springs, Kings Canyon and Tennant Creek. So in the NT, we have got, with the two regions, they both have quite different seasons. And the weather is a little bit different to the rest of the country, so we always like to highlight this. So in the top end, we're currently in the dry. This is our peak season, and this lasts until about October, and it's when the temperatures are up to about 32 degrees. It's really beautiful days, very hot, and the humidity is very low, and there's little to no rain. We're going to be coming into the tropical summer soon, and that is when temperatures are about the same, but the humidity is much higher, so really good just for you to be aware of that. In the red centre, we're in spring, so it's like the rest of the country and in New Zealand. It's going to get up to about 31 degrees during the day. At the moment, things are still a little bit cool overnight, so just good to be aware of that too. Just a few updates from us. Qantas are restarting their Cairns to Ayers Rock flights on the 16th of September. They'll be flying 3 times a week, which is great. We've got a couple of new operators. We have one in Alice Springs, and it's pronounced Chin Art, and they are running dot painting workshops with 2 well-recognised Aboriginal artists from that region. They do a 90-minute workshop there. We also have Wild Photo, which are based in Darwin. They've got a private photography tour company, and it's with a professional photographer, Paul Thompson. So he takes his clients out on either a full drive or on a boat, and they can really get up and close and personal to a lot of the wildlife in that region. And he focuses his tours around Darwin and the Murray River. So great with Kakadu Bird Week's coming up, so that's a great option for people that might be wanting to do something a little bit more personalised during that time. So I just want to introduce our 3 operators. I'll be giving a bit of an update on other Uluru product after they have shared their presentations. And if you have any questions during these, please feel free to send them through the chat box. So Alice, is Raf online?
Just trying to have a look. I can't see that she is.
Okay, no. Great. We might jump straight to Alex Dye from Uluru Segway Tours and Audio Guide. Alex, do you want to share your screen?
Hi, how are you all? I'll just jump into a part where I can share my screen with you all, and I've got a presentation. Can you hear me okay though?
We can, yeah.
Great. Alrighty, give me a sec. Let's just jump into a window where I can share with you all. Alrighty, can everyone see the nice blue PowerPoint slide?
We can, yeah.
Great. So my name's Alex and I'm from Uluru Segway Tours. So some of you might be familiar with our product and many of you may have even sold us before. But if you're not familiar with us, we're based out of Voyages Ayers Rock Resort and we provide amazing guided tours to our clients to experience Uluru and allow people to get around the base of the rock on a Segway. Our tours depart several times a day and they're an amazing, fun, unique and interesting way to experience Uluru and get up close. So on our tours, a lot of the times when clients or maybe travel agents haven't gone on a Segway tour before, I'm often asked, why should someone Segway at Uluru? The reasons you should Segway at Uluru are you get to see more of the rock. It's in a really amazing place, but Uluru's enormous. If you haven't been out here before, you may not know Uluru is actually 10.6 kilometres to go the whole way around the base of this rock. So for many people, walking that far isn't an option and it's just exhausting. So riding a Segway is a great way to get out and have a bit more fun and see more. Also, our guides are incredible. They're really knowledgeable, masters of their subject content, and you get a really great chance to learn from them. Our tours are also small group tours, so there's no more than 12 participants per guide. So everyone gets an opportunity to ask questions, develop a rapport with their guide, and really get to know Uluru in an intimate experience. We also go around the whole base of Uluru on many of our tours, so you get an opportunity to see more and get away from the crowds, and you can just get out and see Uluru just with your small group. It's also a great way to beat the heat. So during summer, it can be quite hot to be out and walking around the base of the rock. So riding a Segway is a really nice way to avoid the warmth, and you can get out and you can just have fun. It's also a great alternative to walking. So in Central Australia, there are many amazing places to go walking, whether it be Uluru, Kings Canyon, Katarajura, maybe Alice Springs. So Segway riding is a nice way to make your itinerary a bit more diverse and spice it up a little bit. Lastly, if you have ridden a Segway before, you'll know riding a Segway is just plain fun. So it's a great thing to do. Now, with our tours, it's also socially responsible. So sometimes people ask me about, is riding a Segway at Uluru ethically responsible or this and that? Of course, riding a Segway at Uluru is ethically responsible. Before our tours were allowed to operate, we had to be approved by the National Parks Board of Directors, whom a majority are Anangal people. These traditional owners all voted yes, they wanted Segway tours at Uluru, as it provides a great way for more people to see the base of Uluru and learn about local Indigenous culture. Also, 2.5% from every tour sold goes back to the local Indigenous community, Mudurjulu. So when people are travelling on a Segway tour, they're supporting local. Now, our guest experience is really diverse and really interesting, but you can see here from some of the images, they're small group, you get to have great interaction with your guides, and some of our tours include sunrise and sunset, which of course comes with sunset viewing or sunrise viewing and some picnic snacks. So Segway riding is an adventure activity, so it's important that when you're talking to clients that you're sending the right people to do Segway tours. So being an adventure activity, we recommend it for people aged 12 to 55 years. For those above the age of 55, some of them may still be able to Segway, but they should consider their own suitability and if adventure sports are something they do. Riding a Segway is suitable for people who are active and healthy, have the vision and balance to ride a bicycle, and are free from pre-existing injuries. It's not suitable for pregnant women or people above 120 kilograms, and children need to be 12 years old. So essentially, families with teenagers, couples, friends, solo travellers and groups are all ideal. Now, we have a variety of tours. At this time of year, when it's our beautiful winter season, we run touring from sunrise right through till sunset and all day. In the summer, however, the weather is a little bit warmer, so we typically just stick to our sunrise tour and our sunset tour. Now, to allow me to have time to share just a couple of our tours with you, I'll show you my favourite tour. It's Uluru Sunrise and Segway. It's a 5-hour tour and it includes transfers from Voyages Ayers Rock Resort. If you haven't been to our region, you may not know, but Uluru's a 30-minute drive from Voyages Ayers Rock Resort, so we include the transfers in this. We also include a chance to watch the sunrise at the base of Uluru and have a light breakfast. We then, after watching the sunrise, go on over to the base of Uluru and go for a guided walk into the Mutijulu waterhole, complete our Segway training, and then ride the whole way around the base of Uluru. So it's a really amazing way to explore Uluru and get up close, and it's a complete Uluru experience. Now, the sunset tour is my other favourite tour. This one, it's also a 5-hour tour, and it does include transfers to and from Voyages Ayers Rock Resort. This one doesn't go the entire way around Uluru though. Instead, it's a little bit slower pace and does a bit of guided walking into that Mutijulu waterhole and also on the Marla walk. So it has a little bit more opportunity to take a slower pace in and get to see caves and rock art and learn how Anangal people would have used this place traditionally. We do Segway for about an hour and a half, however, 30 minutes doing our training, and then an hour Segwaying around the most scenic section of Uluru's base through beautiful trees and around looking at different areas of Uluru where you can just get some incredible photos. This tour finishes with sunset viewing at the foot of Uluru. We have picnic nibbles there and a glass of sparkling wine. Where we watch sunset, we try to avoid all the other major groups. So we'll go to a location where usually it's just us and we're quite close to Uluru. So it'll be our little group, maybe 10 of us, standing at the base of the rock, and then maybe 20 metres away is where Uluru is glowing red right in front of you. It's absolutely amazing. Now, next year we are launching a new tour starting on the 1st of April. It's called Uluru's Best and Segway. And it's very similar to the sunset tour. It just doesn't happen at sunset time. So there's no sunset nibbles and drinks. But it still includes seeing the beautiful Mutijulu waterhole, the beautiful Marla walk, and seeing that most scenic section of Uluru aboard a Segway. It's a great opportunity for anyone who wants to learn as much as they can about culture, but have fun on riding a Segway. It's a good itinerary too, because it fits most itineraries with a timing of 12:20 until 4:30 p.m. So if you've got clients flying in on an early flight from Brisbane and they are waiting for their hotel check-in, you could potentially get them to fly in, have a quick lunch, come out on a Segway tour and get back by 4:30. They can check into their hotel and still even make it in time for Field of Lights or Sounds of Silence. Now, we do have private charter options available for all of our tours as well. So if you've got clients who do want to do things a little bit more exclusive, maybe just 2 of them, then send us a request for a private charter. That's something we can facilitate. Now, along with Uluru Segway Tours, we have a sister business here called Uluru Audio Guide. Uluru Audio Guide is an interesting business, and it's kind of the option for visitors to our region who want to learn about Uluru, but maybe don't enjoy joining a guided group or wanting to have to fit into someone else's itinerary. Essentially, it's a GPS-triggered audio guide that people can hire and take the device out and explore Uluru Kata National Park. There's over 100 facts and stories about Uluru Kata National Park on the device, so it's great if you're selling a self-drive itinerary, or maybe you've got clients who are travelling around Australia driving themselves from A to B. It's also available in 7 languages, so if you ever do work with clients who prefer listening in Mandarin or Japanese if it's their mother tongue, then we can help with that as well. Essentially, it's a tour guide in your pocket. So Uluru Audio Guide is amazing, but the most important key sales points are you can drive yourself and not get lost. Uluru Audio Guide is GPS triggered, which means that as you drive around Uluru Kata National Park, the interpretive content will just trigger and play automatically. To help with that, though, we've also got some handy directional information. So if you're coming up to an intersection, instead of talking about the trees or the plants, the device will give you a bit of information about, oh, if you turn left here, you'll get to Uluru. Being GPS triggered, it's hands-free and hassle-free. It means that you can just press play on your device and you don't have to worry about looking for a number to match up with the device or finding the sign that matches the audio. You can just press play and off you go. All of the audio content will come in a place when it's relevant for you. The content is quality. Our audio guide has been written by local tour guides and translated by them as well. So the translations and the content in the script is just of utmost premium quality. It's even been approved by Uluru Kata National Park, so you know you're getting reliable factual information. Also, Uluru Audio Guide is great value. It's only $39 per device per 24-hour period. And so you can just take it off, take it out and go and explore, play it through the car stereo or play it through headphones whilst you're walking. Uluru Audio Guide covers every area in the national park except for the Valley of the Winds Walk. However, we've currently translated and recorded content to cover the Valley of the Winds Walk, and this will be launching over the summer. So by 2023, Uluru Audio Guide will cover every walk and every road available for public access in Uluru Karajuba National Park. So if you're wanting to use an audio device, it's really simple. You can book it in and then you can come and pick it up from the Yalara Tourist Information Centre, which is located at the Tourist Information Centre, which is located at Voyages Ayers Rock Resort Town Square. The device hire works in 24-hour allotments, so it times in really nicely with hire cars. So if you're booking a hire car for 1 day or 2 days, you can start your device hire from the same time that you're picking up your car hire and just finish it and drop it off when you drop off the hire car. So that's how Uluru Audio Guide works. It has 5-star reviews and is super fantastic. So it's a cool little product. If you need to know more, you can reach out to me and my details are on the screen.
Thanks, Alex. It's great. The Segways are definitely a fun way to get around the rock. I've done it myself and it was a lot of fun. We haven't had any questions come through, but if we get any further, we'll come back to you. So thank you very much. Next, we're going to move on to Victoria Turnbull from AAT Kings. If you want to jump in, Victoria. And we did just get a quick question then. Sorry, I just missed that. Alice, did you say that? Was it school groups?
Yes, it was. Sorry, I've just gone. School groups 4, but I think that might be a mistake before. So yeah, can you do school groups?
Is it school groups for Uluru Segway Tours or for Uluru Audio Guide? For the audio guide, yeah, you could really easily include it with a school group. You could give each of the kids an audio guide to take out. Oh, for Segway, sorry. Yeah, for Segway, we can. We've had a few school groups. It just comes down to the age of the participants. So, for example, they need to be 12 years old. We have a ratio of 1 guide per 10 per 10 clients, but we have about 40 Segways. So there is potential to do several groups at one time. So if your school groups are maybe a smaller group or you're able to rotate them through, maybe you can round robin them with other activities. Sometimes people will do us with a round robin with things like Maraku. That could work, but just making sure the kids are sort of, high schoolers and up.
Right, thank you for that. Excellent. Hopefully that's answered everybody's questions. Well, thank you so much, Alex. Next, we've got Victoria. Sorry for cutting you off then, Victoria.
No problem. Thank you, Alex. Thanks, Karen. All right, I'll share my screen as well. Can everyone see that okay?
We can, yep.
All right. Just 1 second. Sure. Oh, okay. Are we all? You can all see my screen, okay?
We can, yep.
Yep.
Okay, great. All right. So thank you everybody for joining this afternoon. And firstly, I'd like to start with an acknowledgement of country. We offer our respect and gratitude to the First Nations Australians, Torres Strait Islanders and Maori custodians who have nurtured the land and its cultures for so many millennia, and who are now some of our most trusted partners in introducing them to a curious world. Okay, there we go. So what will we cover today? Firstly, we're just going to do an introduction to AAT Kings. We're going to talk a little bit about our touring styles and a few featured trips in Uluru. And then I'll also mention See It Uluru, which is our sister brand, and point out some highlights with our See It program. For those of you not familiar with AAT Kings, we would love to quickly take you through our history. This is a statement from Bill King, one of the original founders of AAT Kings, and a statement of his vision, which stands true today. We have been touring since 1912, helping guests from all over the world discover and explore Australia and New Zealand. We offer a broad range of holiday options, including guided holidays, short breaks, and day tours. From humble beginnings, the company you now know as AAT Kings was going places few had gone before, pioneering new paths and taking intrepid travellers on a wild and wonderful ride. We've come a long way and we've clocked up a few kilometres in the process. Now that you know who we are and where we can take you on world-class holidays around Australia and New Zealand, let's talk about our travel styles. Through our wide range of guided holidays, where everything is taken care of, or short breaks, the best of the icons and a few surprises along the way. And we've got our day tours for those of you who don't have a lot of time. There is something to suit every traveller. Day tours are perfect for everyone, especially those travelling to a city or destination for the first time. They're perfect for adding on to other travel arrangements so that your clients feel like they've experienced a destination in its entirety. Your recommendation of adding these onto your client's other travel arrangements makes you the expert and your insider knowledge of what your client should be experiencing. Now, our short breaks are mini but mighty adventures. On our short breaks, your clients are guided through each day by our attentive regional experts, and they'll interact with a new group of fellow travellers each day. Some regions offer the flexibility for your clients to choose their preferred level of accommodation and dining options. These mini getaways are ideal for travellers short on time or even for families who want to see the sights, yet have plenty of family time. Our short breaks are independent modules without set departure days. Our short breaks can be strung together to create a full FIT itinerary. Another suggestion in which these can be used is for pre and post for cruise or rail excursions. So let me take you to the Red Centre and Uluru. We have a vast range of touring options here that take in iconic Uluru in all its glory. One of my absolute favourites is the Sunrise Field of Lights tour, where you'll witness the outback come to life as 50,000 globes illuminate in the desert. Included are some light snacks, and our team will serve you tea and coffee to enjoy as the sun starts to creep light through the sky, and then watch in awe as it pops up in the distance behind Uluru, flooding the landscape, including Katajuda behind you with light. As the natural light brightens the landscape, the field of light will dim for the day. AAT Kings offers exclusive access to the sunrise viewing of the field of light, which is how Bruce Munro, the creator, intended the field of light to be seen. My Uluru Ila, meaning food close to Uluru, is an exclusive barbecue dinner experience. Set within Uluru Katajuda National Park, and the only one of its kind under the Uluru's towering shadow, you will dine with a Kwandong Passion Mimosa in hand while watching a kaleidoscope of colour as the sun sets. Enjoy favourites from the grill and dessert in the desert while the night sky lights up with billions of stars. Your specialist AAT Kings guide will share insights from the Southern Hemisphere's constellations. For this product, which is a new standalone experience of our barbecue dinner, the children must be aged from 9, so minimum age of 9, and through to 15 years of age for children. Another new experience is the Uluru Aboriginal Art and Culture Tour, which is experiencing the oldest culture on Earth with a local Ananu Aboriginal guide and interpreter. Learn how the Ananu live in this extraordinary environment and connect with the land, as your guides share traditional stories passed down from elders and interpret rock art. While enjoying the art of dot painting, you will create your own story to take home. This is a small group experience of a maximum of 16 guests. Now I'd like to introduce you to See It Outback Australia. See It are a sister brand to AAT Kings, offering small group touring based in Uluru. The See It program includes 9 small group day tours featuring the best of Uluru, Katajuda and Mount Connor. The See It fleet includes 11-seater four-wheel drive vehicles and 20-seater coasters for small group experiences for a minimum of 4 people. For an off-the-beaten-track experience, See It offers a four-wheel drive adventure to lesser-known Mount Connor, often mistaken for Uluru when driving from Alice Springs. Mount Connor is located 100 kilometres east of Uluru and situated on a vast and fully operational privately owned cattle station. The tour of Curtin Springs Station includes sunset drinks, nibbles and dinner. Our other See It itinerary I wanted to mention was our Patchy Uluru Aboriginal experience, where you accompany the traditional Uluru family to their homelands called Patchy and spend time learning about the oldest living culture in the world. Patchy is located just outside of Uluru, Katajuda National Park, south of Uluru. Experience this extraordinary environment by four-wheel drive with your Aboriginal guide. And that's it from AAT Kings and See It. I'll pass back to Karen. If you have any questions, please feel free to put those in the comments. Thank you.
Thanks so much for that. That was a great overview. There's some really great products there at Uluru. So thank you so much. We haven't had any questions come through, but we might still get a couple as we go through the presentation. So thanks so much for that, Victoria. Next, we've got Rafaela. Would you like to jump in now, Raf?
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. Let me get my presentation ready. I have to warn you, my internet's been super patchy. We're just about to move office. So if I drove out, just bear 1 second with me. It usually restarts pretty quickly. All right, so thank you so much for joining me. My name is Rafaela. I'm the sales manager at Voyages Indigenous Tourism Australia, and we own and operate Ayers Rock Resort. We've had several acknowledgements to countries, so I will let you read this and skip through it. And get to the flights to Uluru. So this is quite important because there are a few changes from pre-COVID to our flights that we're getting right now, and there's constant changes due to airline operation. At the moment, we're getting Sydney, Jetstar, and Qantas. And I believe it is 5 times a week with Qantas and daily with Jetstar. We're getting flights from Melbourne 6 times a week. There is a Cairns flight that will actually be 3 times a week now. It's just recently changed, and it will start operating from September. And we have a Brisbane flight, which is currently operating, but is going to cease operation next year. So that's 3 times a week. So when you book your clients into us, make sure you get the flights aligned, but always check accommodation before you confirm the flights. So Ayers Rock Resort, we've got some beautiful properties, and this is the layout of the resort. So if you haven't been to us, we're all along one long big ring road that's about 2.5 kilometers circumference, and you will find in the top left corner there, Stays in the Desert, and then you can walk from there to the Lost Camel in about 3 minutes, through to Emu Walk Apartments in another 3-4 minutes, to the Emu Walk Apartments to Desert Gardens Hotel. So from Stays in the Desert to Desert Gardens Hotel, if you walk along the ring road, probably be walking about 5 to 7 minutes, depends on your speed. I'm really slow, so it'll probably take me longer. And then across the other side, and there's a big sand dune where you can stop at a lookout and get beautiful views of Uluru. There's the Outback Pioneer Hotel and Lodge and the campground. There's also a shuttle bus that goes around, comes around probably about every 15 to 20 minutes. You can just hop on and move between the properties. So if you're staying in any of the properties, you can dine in any of the restaurants. So each of the properties except the Lost Camel Hotel have dining options, and you can charge back to your room in any of those restaurants or bars. So there's plenty to eat, to do when you're at Ayers Rock Resort. So it Stays in the Desert is our 5-star property. It was fully refurbished during COVID. we had an empty hotel, so we took the opportunity to do some updates. This photo is a little bit, is an older version of what the room looks like now. It had a refresh, so the artwork would have changed, but overall it's still quite actual. The bathrooms had a full refurb and terrace rooms had a complete makeover. There's a Gans Hotel, is our 4-star hotel. That's the lead and room type. This is where you get a lot of group staying. And the deluxe rock view rooms are the only rooms where you get views of Uluru from Ayers Rock Resort. There's, of course, also longitude 131, but it's a very different price category. We've got the Emu Walk apartments. These 1- and 2-bedroom apartments. They're rated 4-star, and they share their facilities and their pool with the Gans Hotel. And the Lost Camel Hotel that just reopened just before COVID, actually. I think it has the nicest pool in the resort. The standard rooms are fairly small. So if you look here, you also have this open plan bathroom. So for our standard rooms at the Lost Camel, I'll probably put couples in there or really close friends. And there's also no window access. So the natural light comes through the bathroom windows into the rooms. That's something to just make your clients aware when you book that room type, but it's a good budget option. And the Outback Pioneer Hotel and Lodge. Now, this hotel, and we just announced it recently, is going to undergo a full refurbishment of all rooms, including bathrooms. So that's the hotel rooms and bathrooms. The dorm rooms are still closed since COVID, and we're still working out what we're doing with them. But this is what they currently look like. They will look very, very different once we're done. So the refurbishment will start in November. The hotel will remain open, and we'll just close out rooms and blocks like we've done in previous refurbishments and other properties. But they will look really beautiful. And once I have updated images of a prototype room, I'll be able to share that as well. Coming to touring now. Victoria already spoke about the Feet of Light. So AAT Kings looks after the beautiful sunrise tour. And I have to admit, the image you're seeing is actually a sunrise image. And we look after all the evening touring at the Feet of Light. So Feet of Light, beautiful art installation by Bruce Monroe, 50,000 frosted light spheres, set up in the desert. It was originally supposed to be only a 1-year installation and was extended again, until the artist decided to make it a permanent installation because the feedback from visitors has just been so great. We invested in 2019 another $1 million in just upgrading and refurbishing it. So there's constant ongoing work done to make sure that the Feet of Light looks the best it can. There's an artist out there from Bruce Monroe's studio permanently who actually looks after the installation and goes out every few days, so make sure it's all looks right. There's wildlife that walk through. You get camels trampling over it, so it is important to keep it up to date. And we've got 3 options for evening touring. So Feet of Light Pass is your general entry, 30 minutes after sunset, and it includes the shuttle bus transfer from the resort, so from any of the hotels you're staying at, including the campground if your client's camping, to the Feet of Light, and they can walk through. That's really the tour you do if you have kids with you, because it doesn't include any meal component. The Feet of Light Star Pass next level up. They just departs during sunset, so you get there at just during the sunset, and you're in an elevated dune viewing area. You see the Feet of Light, the sun setting over Uluru, and then the Feet of Light slowly turning on and illuminating the area while you're having some canapes and drinks on the dune top, and then you get to walk through the Feet of Light. And a night at Feet of Light, it's our signature experience, which includes a full dinner, 3-course dinner experience, sunset canapes and drinks at the Feet of Light, and then a walk through the Feet of Light. So that's the signature tour, and includes the night at Feet of Light is pretty much a combination of Sounds of Silence and the general admission, but all combined into one and located at the Feet of Light side. Now, Sounds of Silence is our famous dining experience, dining under the stars, and it's actually in the Australian Hall of Fame, and we've been operating it for, I believe it's 28 years now. So it's it's still pretty much sold out every night. So make sure you pre-book your clients on all tours. Ideally, book the touring at time of booking accommodation and flights, because there's only so many people we can take on our tours, and you don't want your clients to miss out. So the Sounds of Science will pick your clients up at just before sunset, take them to a remote dune where they get gorgeous views of Uluru and Kata Tjuta. They get canapes and drinks while they watch the sunset. There's a didgeridoo performance, and then they walk down to the bottom of the dune where Sounds of Science is set up. And the picture you're seeing now it's what it looks like, the setup. They get a 3-course buffet-style dinner, and there's also Star Talk. So one of our local astronomer or astronomers-to-be will come out and give a bit of a start presentation on the night sky, and there's some telescopes set up that your clients can go and look through. And it, of course, includes all the transfers and unlimited drinks. So if you had Field of Light, the experience would be really similar for a night of Field of Light, except that at the end, you get to walk through the Field of Light. If you have clients, if your clients are domestic, I generally recommend them to, because they stay longer, they have multiple nights with us. And there's only as much as you can do in the evenings in a resort in the middle of the desert. So I generally recommend to book Sounds of Science on one night, and then Field of Light, Star Pass, or general admission on another night. But if your clients are only there for 2 nights, book them on a night of Field of Light so they can get that compact experience. And Taliviru, which is our premium dining experience, award-winning, and it is a fine dining under the stars. So you're sitting on a table, just you and your companion. You get 4 courses that you select on the night, and it's the most amazing food, all paired with matching Australian wines. And I have to say, I find this actually the most romantic experience. You're in the middle of the desert. You see the sunset in the desert. You've got a didgeridoo performance. You got amazing canapes and champagne. At the end of the night, everyone is very happy and just a little bit intoxicated. So you sit around the fireplace, got an Indigenous storyteller, drink some cognac and some lovely hot chocolate. And yeah, after 4 hours, everyone leaves very, very happy and very loved up. So we get a lot of proposals out there. It's quite a really, really romantic experience. But even if you're going with a friend, it's a really beautiful, beautiful experience. It's a once in a lifetime. I could do it definitely more than once in a life, but it is, yeah, really stunning. And Desert Awakenings is our own sunrise tour. You're going to the same site as Taliviru. So if your clients book Taliviru, I probably wouldn't book them on Desert Awakenings because they will be on the same dune top for that experience. But Desert Awakenings is a really nice small group sunrise tour where we take your clients out an hour prior to sunrise. They go to the dune top. They see the sunrise over the desert. You can see Uluru, but it is a bit far in the distance, so it's a desert sunrise. You get an Aussie breakfast, which means egg and bacon rolls, dampers, fruits, pastries, tea and coffee, which is very important at this time of the night. And then the guide will come and take you with our 4-wheel-drive bus into the national park, and you do a guided walk at Uluru and see the cultural centre. So in total, it takes about 6 hours. You spend a bit of time though enjoying the sunrise, and yeah, it's a really nice experience. Maximum 16 people. Same for Taliviru, 16 people. So they're very small group experiences. And that's it. Here you go. So if you have any questions, please, yeah, put them through.
Thanks for that, Raf. I don't think we've had any questions come through, but that was a great overview. It's making me very hungry hearing all those menus. So if anyone does have any questions further on through this webinar, then they can definitely send them through that chat. But thank you so much for that, Raf, and thank you to everyone for your presentations. It was really great. I just want to quickly share my screen again, and I will just finish off the presentations. All right, so just to take you through some of the other products that we have in Uluru, and just a few of the top tips actually before I start. So Uluru is the national park at Uluru is the Uluru and Katajuta National Park, and it's dual World Heritage listed with UNESCO for its natural and cultural values. And as everyone has already mentioned, getting up for the sunrise is a must do. It's the most beautiful time of the day. There's lots of touring at that time, so definitely lots of opportunities out there for people to experience. A visit to the Uluru Katajuta Cultural Centre is a must do. It's so interesting there. They've got really great interpretation. There's the Maraku Arts have got an art gallery there with lots of different Aboriginal arts and crafts for sale. There's a cafe. It's really nice there, and a few of the operators operate out of that area. So dining under the stars, as Raf and Victoria both mentioned, they've got options for dining under the stars. Definitely something everyone should do when they go to Uluru. It is such a great night out, dining under the stars. It's a lot of fun. Katajuta, which is in the bottom left image here, that's about 30 k's from Uluru. Probably not as well known as the actual rock, but definitely worth a visit, especially for people coming out for a few days. In Uluru, which is the main town, there's lots of facilities there. This is part of the Ayers Rock Resort. They've got a supermarket, a bank, there's shopping if people need to pick up bits and pieces and souvenirs. There's a cafe and there's a petrol station. There's also a police station and a medical centre. And we had a question yesterday actually about the Emu apartments, which are self-catered, which are part of the Voyages or Ayers Rock Resort, and people who are staying in those apartments can go and do their shopping at the supermarket there. It's kind of got a little bit of everything. It's quite a good wee supermarket. To go into the national park, to go into the rock, you need a parks pass, which you can get through Parks Australia. They're $38 for 3 days. Not a lot of the tours include them in their ticket prices, so it's good to check that. And also, a lot of the tour operators will offer transfers, so they'll come and pick you up from the accommodation, which is super handy. Not everyone does, but it's just good to double check that there is an offering. And if it's not included in the package, it can be added as an add-on. It's easy enough. So just touching on a few of the other products that we have there. Emu Run are a Alice Springs based tour company, but they do a lot of day tours in the Uluru area as well. So they've got a lot of the standard tours, which is your Uluru Katajuta combo, a sunrise tour, a sacred sites tour. They also do a sunset barbecue and a Walpa Gorge tour at Katajuta. So there's a few options there. They do a coach transfer between Uluru and Alice Springs. The AAT Kings also offer this, which is good if people haven't come with a rental car and they're heading up to Alice Springs or vice versa. So handy to know that option is there. Emu Run also runs some multi-day tours too. Fly Uluru are a combination of Ayers Rock helicopters and Ayers Rock scenic flights. So they offer helicopter and fixed wing scenic flights around this area. They've got a heap of options as well, which include flights around Uluru out to Katajuta. They go out to Mount Connor, which Victoria mentioned. They go over Lake Amadeus, which is the big salt lake in this area, and out to Kings Canyon. So great if people want to go and experience somewhere like Kings Canyon and they haven't got the time to drive, then they can do the flight out there. They also do the sunset and the sunrise tours. We have Maraku Arts. So if you joined our webinar series last quarter, we had them on talking about their product. So they're 100% Aboriginal owned and they're located in the town centre. So just easy walking from the hotels there. They have a drop painting workshop that goes for about an hour and a half. And during the workshop, customers get to learn about the ancient symbols and what they mean. And then people will paint their own artwork telling their story using those symbols. So it's a really fun activity. And also, as I mentioned, they've got the art gallery at the cultural centre, so people can pick up some beautiful artworks there. So outback cycling, this is a really great way for families to get around the rock. They do bike hire. They operate out of the cultural centre car park, and they do bike hire for adults and for children. They have the tag along bike, so younger kids can sit on the back of a bike, and they've got toddler seats. The helmets, everything's included, so people don't need to worry about bringing anything with them. And they can do a transfer from the hotels as well, which is great. So that's just another option to get around the rock. I don't know, I don't think we've mentioned it. The walk around the rock's about 11k, so it's quite a long way. So doing a cycle tour is just a good option. We have professional helicopter services. So again, another helicopter flying flight operator. They do a similar array of flights to fly Uluru. So they do Uluru, Katajuta, out to Lake Amadeus, to Kings Canyon. So a really beautiful way to see the rock. It really puts everything into perspective when you see it in a scenic flight. It's such a really cool thing to do while you're there. We have Uluru Camels as well. So this is a really fun activity to do. They offer a sunrise and a sunset tour, and they last for about 2.5 hours. They also do an express tour as well in the morning and the afternoon for people who have a little bit less time. So that's such a fun thing for people to be doing out in Uluru. We have Uluru motorcycle tours, so they offer rides on Harleys and trikes. They've got a huge range of tours on offer. You'll see there on the presentation. They start from 30 minutes and they go right through to about 3.5 hours. So a great bucket list experience for people to do while they're out there, just seeing the rock from a slightly different perspective. Now, we have a few operators that offer multi-day tours that come into Uluru. They might go to Kings Canyon and Alice Springs as well. So AAT Kings offer these. Adventure Tours Australia, Emu Run, who I've already mentioned, Intrepid Travel and Waratah Adventure Tours. They all offer multi-day tours into this area. And just lastly, we have Longitude 131. You might have heard of them. They are 5-star luxury. They have beautiful luxury tents. They have 15 plus this beautiful dune pavilion here in the photo, which is a 2-bedroom tent with private pool. This is very high end, beautiful offering there. It's an inclusive package that they offer, all the meals and all the tourings included with this, and stunning views, as you can see. So just a few events that we have coming up for all of NT. We have the Kakadu Bird Week, which is starting on the 30th of September. During Bird Week, there's going to be a range of specialist lectures, cultural events, all sorts of really interesting activities are on offer at Kakadu during this time. Perfect for people, for your clients that might be bird watchers. We have Desert Mob coming to Alice Springs. It's an art and culture festival which brings together the First Nations artists from across the desert, and that takes place in the Araluan Art Centre in Alice Springs. We have $1 Million Fish, which is a 6-month campaign that runs from October to March, and it's when fish are released into the wild, and if you've registered to be part of the competition and you catch one, you get to win the prize. So they're going to be releasing 9 fish tagged with $1 million this season and 100 fish tagged with $10,000. And we have the Darwin International Luxor Festival coming up at the end of October. So this really celebrates the Top End's multicultural community and its love of Luxor. So a really fun thing to be involved in. The Luxors are absolutely delicious. If you haven't been up there and had one, they really are. So that's a great thing for people that are interested in these sorts of foodie events. With our trade training program incentive, so congratulations to Kay Pridham. She won our $10,000 package that we drew a couple of months ago from the last quarter. So she'll get to come up to the NT and spend her $10,000 on all sorts of activities, which is great. This quarter we have got one $5,000 prize package up for grabs and 2 placements on a Red Centre for Mill that will take place next year. In about March. So everyone that's attended today will go into the draw. We'll be sending out an EDM in a couple of weeks with the recording. If you've got any colleagues that haven't seen it, you can definitely forward it on and they can go into the draw once they've watched the webinar too. So that's pretty exciting. And last but not least, hopefully you've heard about NT Muster. This is our annual roadshow that is coming back for the first time since 2020. So we're really excited to be running this event. We're going to be on the road with 30 of our operators in Melbourne, Brisbane and Sydney in October. And it's a chance for everybody to connect with our operators. We'll have some beautiful NT-inspired food and wine and entertainment. And we're going to have around about $30,000 worth of prizes on offer every night. So it's a great event, heaps of fun. It'll be really nice to connect with all of your industry partners again. So hopefully you can come along. The tickets are limited and you need to register, so you can't just turn up on the night because it'll be a sellout. The tickets are free, but obviously it is ticketed. So please get onto our website to book your ticket. Don't delay. It's going to be a really fun night. So we're looking forward to seeing everyone soon. So that is it from me. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. My contact details are there. If you've got any questions about anything we've talked about today or any questions about the NT as a whole, please get in touch. We're happy to help, and we will see you all again in a couple of months. And thanks so much to our operators, to Raf, to Alex and to Victoria. Thank you so much for spending the afternoon with us. So we'll see you all again. Thanks very much.